Okay, so how do you buy land when you don't have a lot of money and you're just starting out? Well, I'm gonna give you a couple quick pointers. I just did a whole video, but it was like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna do a quick video here real quick, give you a few pointers that you can do if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of cash. Well, step one is you need to identify a good location, and you can do this virtually anywhere. I'm gonna give you a quick tip. My favorite piece of software, it does cost a little bit of money, but I think you can get a free trial if you wanna try it out, is Land Portal. So go to landportal.com and you can actually, I think you can get like a 7 or 14-day free trial. And there's a market research tool. And in the market research tool, you look for sell-through rates. You can Google all this, and I can show you too on some of my videos when I'm behind the computer. So you look for sell-through rates in counties. You wanna get at least a 100% sell-through rate county. So a sell-through rate is if 100 pieces of property are listed on the market right now, at least 100 pieces of property have sold over the last year. If 100 pieces of property are listed on the market right now and 10 have sold in the last year, that's a 10% sell-through rate. If 100 pieces of property are listed on the market right now and 500 have sold in the last year, that's a 500% sell-through rate. So just do the numbers. You know, if 10 are listed on the property now and 50 have sold in the last year, that's still a 500% sell-through rate. Does that make sense? And you can do this research without Land Portal. You can do this research on Zillow. You just specify your criteria. You look at the sold comps in your area or in the area that you're specifying, and you see how many sold comps for just land. Don't look at houses, uncheck everything but land. How many pieces of land have sold within a certain acreage range over the last year, and how many are listed right now. And you can just get a spreadsheet and do that on Zillow, and you can find a good place, because when you get something under contract, you kind of want to be able to sell it pretty quick. Unless you're a buy and hold guy, which maybe you want to buy a piece of land and hold it for the future, which not a bad idea either. But right now I like to flip them, and then if I find the best ones, I'll keep them. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, I just buy right, and if you buy things right, then you can sell them and make some money. So the first step is, if you don't have a lot of money, is identify a good location that has at least a 100% sell-through rate. And then you can do this virtually, so it doesn't have to be in your backyard. If your backyard isn't selling that hot, you can find an area near you that's doing this. So you find off-market land by mailing to people, and you sell on market with realtors. You don't have to do it that way, but that's what I do. And it works. So, all right. Identify a good location with a high sell-through rate, at least 100%, but more than that's better. Less than that, not great. Now you got to pull a list. Land Portal is a really great way to pull a list as well. I love Land Portal. I use it basically every day right now for property research, for pulling lists, and for market research. So the pulling of the lists on Land Portal, you can specify that you don't want landlocked property. You want property that has road frontage. If you're gonna buy a property, you wanna make sure someone can drive up to it. And when you're selling it with a car, doesn't have to have a 4x4. So, so that's critical. So in Land Portal, you can specify road frontage. And like I said, I'll have to get behind the computer and show you guys how to do this behind the computer. I just like taking walks. Once you pull your list, you filter a nice tight list in an area with a good sell-through rate. It's like 300, 500 people. Now you can either export that list, which might cost you, $50, and then you can import it into a mailing software, and you can just mail that with just postcards or something like that. It might cost you another $500 to do that. But if you don't have a lot of money in the beginning, you don't even have to pull the list with Land Portal. You go through each one of those leads, and you just hand enter them, copy and paste them into a spreadsheet. The owner's name, the property address, the property size, the APN number, the county, all the important information into a good spreadsheet that you just build. Then it has the owner's name, and it has the land address, but it also has the owner's name, and it has the owner's mailing address. That's in there. It's public information. So you just grab that and put that in a column too. Then you go to Staples and you grab some good, solid, cream-colored invitation envelopes, the big fat ones with the glue on the back, right? When you pull the thing, you don't have to lick them, and then you use those, and you get a big legal pad, yellow legal pad, and you get a whole bunch of stamps, and you just write a good letter out and just say, hey, my name is Dave, and I'm just looking to buy land in your area, and I see you own a piece of property. If you're ever interested in selling your piece of property, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about that and give you an offer. And a nice touch is making it bumpy mail. Put a couple pieces of candy in there or something like that. And then you seal it up. And if you do 5 of those a day, just handwrite 5 letters a day in the morning before you do work, get up early and do that. And you do that for a month, I bet you get a deal. I bet you get a good deal. And then you got to get a number. Now, if you put a phone number on there, right? And when you put a phone number, I would kind of put a reference number in your Google spreadsheet. Just make a reference number, and put the reference number on the letter. So when they call you, you can say, hey, what's your reference number? And then you can identify the lead in your list. It's going to help you a little bit more. So then make sure you get a phone number. It could be your actual cell phone, or you can get a Google number or something like that. It's better if it's your actual cell phone, because then you're not going to be marked spam when you call people. But if they're calling you and you answer your phone, try to answer your phone. I mean, if you're at work and stuff, just make sure your voicemail is like, hey, this is Dave, and I buy land, leave me your name and number. And if you're calling about a piece of land, let me know your reference number, and I'll give you and your phone number, and I'll give you a call back. Something like that on your message. And then if you have a Google number or something like that, then you can specifically make it dialed in just for real estate. Because you probably, most people still have a job. I got quite a few other jobs, actually. But then people are calling you back. And when they call you, literally the key with that is just be human. Just talk to people. Say, hey, how's it going? How you doing today? Don't start with hey, how much you want for your property? It's like, yeah, you'll get to that. You'll get to that. But first, just talk to people. Be friendly. Say, hey, yeah, I'm just a dude looking for some land. I see you own a piece. Can you tell me a little bit about your property? And just have them tell. You can pretty much learn a lot about a piece of property just from Land Portal and other county websites, the GIS websites and stuff. But just have them tell you about it. And then take really good notes when they're talking, if you can. Hopefully, or after you get off the call, make sure you write down the whole call so you know what happened, unless you're recording the call, which typically that's not really happening. There are some CRMs that record all calls though. So then when they call you, you just talk to them, and then it's really about making sure that you're able to help them in some way. It's like, here's the other thing. If you get a good deal, and you got to buy it right, you got to make sure you learn how to comp these properties. So you really want to make sure you call them back. Like, you're going to say, get some information on the property. Okay, tell you what, let me do some research. I'm going to see what I can offer you on this property. And before you get off the call, find out their motivation, why they're trying to sell, what they're looking to do with the property. Why did they buy it in the first place? Is why are they selling it? Why don't they list it with a realtor right now? These are all the really good questions that it's good to know. And then say, okay, well, thank you for that information. I'll tell you what, let me do some research. I'll figure out what I can offer you for your property, and I'll give you a call back. How does that sound? And boom, good call. Try to get their email address if you can, and just be cool. Then you comp the property, and I can teach you that in another video. But you got to comp the property, and you got to make sure you know, okay, this is the most I could buy it for, and still make some money on it. And it might be a little intimidating at that point, because like I said, this video is for people that don't really have a lot of money. Well, here's the deal. If you get a property under contract and there's meat on the bone, there's a whole bunch of people who want to take a bite of that meat. So just make sure you buy it right. And you're not gonna, if you buy it right and you get it under contract at the right price, you're not gonna have to worry about having the money to buy the property. Someone else is gonna be able to give you that money to buy the property, because there's meat on the bone and they want to make some money too. So that's the process, guys. This video is already almost 10 minutes, and I wanted to make a shorter video than the last one, which was 20 minutes. So that's all I got for you right now. But let me know what you guys got, any questions in the DMs. And just remember, dirt is greater than gold. Till next time, my name's Dave. Peace out.